So, Prynhawn da, good afternoon everybody, and a very warm welcome to Cardiff University, to the Utilita Arena and to our 2024 graduation ceremony. First of all, a few words of apology. I'm afraid our ticket scanners were not up to your own standards, and we had a few problems. I do hope you're not too damp from standing out in the usual glorious Cardiff weather that we're all so used to. But we're here today for a very warm afternoon. I hope you'll soon dry out and warm up soon. I am Heather Stevens, CBE, and I am Pro-Chancellor of Cardiff University. It's a real privilege to be here today to celebrate this momentous occasion with you. May I offer a very warm welcome to you, the class of 2024, and to all your family, friends and supporters, and of course to our honorary fellow. Congratulations all. Today we celebrate the extraordinary achievements of our students in the School of Medicine. Acquiring a university education is no mean feat, so well done to you all, not only for getting a place at Cardiff University, but also for the hard work, dedication and commitment that you've shown to get you here today at this ceremony. All of you graduate from a medical school that prides itself on a high-quality educational programme, something that you've reflected with positive scores in the National Student Survey, and thank you for that. You will have benefited from small group teaching and significant patient contact. You'll have had opportunities to develop your conversational Welsh language skills, and some of you may have had bilingual delivery of your course. Your school is committed to gender equality, achieving the Athena Swan Silver Award, so you leave us knowing you have been given every opportunity to succeed and thrive in your learning and now your career. The postgraduates amongst you were also part of the school's inaugural Postgraduate Research Excellence Awards, which celebrated your achievements and your exceptional contribution to research in medicine. Well done to you all. While you've been here in Cardiff, you've been taught by world-leading scholars, some of the brightest minds on the planet. And now it is your turn to take your learning out into the wider world and show what you can do. Your Cardiff qualification tells the world that you are ambitious, passionate, and have a brilliant mind. Embark on the next stage of your journey with all of the confidence that this brings. For some of you, today may be tinged with a little sadness as you say goodbye to Cardiff, though it's not really helping on the weather front, sorry. This vibrant, colourful and diverse city has been the backdrop to your journey throughout university. Of course, the charm and character of Cardiff is difficult to give up, and some of you may have already decided to stay and call Cardiff home for the foreseeable future. Welcome to all of you who are staying, and we thank you for the contribution you will make to the life and well-being of our city and of Wales. Either way, as you cross this stage in a short while, and when you step foot outside the front door of this arena, you will be doing so as a Cardiff graduate. Cardiff University will always be your university, and so wherever life takes you, we hope that you become a flag bearer for our great institution and carry forward our values of kindness and generosity of spirit. Please, stay in touch, come back, visit us often, and share your experience of Cardiff University with the wider world. Now, I want to thank the family and friends of the class of 2024 for coming to support you here today. It will make the graduates' day even more special. When they cross the stage, we need lots of loud and enthusiastic applause and recognition for them, so be ready for that part of the ceremony. For now, sit back, enjoy the ceremony, and savour this moment. I hope we will add another special memory to the collection that you have grown over your time with us, and that your graduation will be something you can fondly look back on in years to come. Well done to you all. I now have the pleasure of introducing Hannah Pearce. I'm looking for Hannah. I'm hoping she's coming. Hannah will read the proclamation and then a poem by Wales' inaugural national poet, Gwyneth Lewis. Many of you will have encountered Gwyneth's work before in the form of the 6-foot-high words, thought to be literally the biggest poem in the world, bad joke, on the front of the Wales Millennium Centre. Gwyneth has been writer-in-residence at the University's School of Physics and Astronomy and is now an honorary fellow, and her poem, Education, was specially commissioned by Cardiff University. So, please, Hannah, come. Thank you.
Education by Gwyneth Lewis. Beiddia feiddio, gwellhad y wneud, myna geisio, parcha ddweud. Trawsnewidiad fydd dy glod, dy ddyfodol, mentro bod. Learning's a passport that returns you home a better person. It permits you to dare being daring, makes you secure with not knowing everything, helps you welcome some failure, forges an alloy with others' thinking. It It is simple delight in mind and its motions. Scintillates, but isn't deceptive. Amidst the joy of institutes is the open road to everywhere but bigotry. It's the shortest distance between you and me, and if you're lucky, it never ends. I will now read the proclamation, first in Welsh and then in English. Nerth gwlad I gwybodaeth. Boed hysbys I holl aelodau'r Brifysgol ac ar hyd a lled y byd fod cynulliad o Brifysgol Caerdydd yn cael ei gynnal heddiw ym Mhrifddinas Cymru. O dan awdurdod Siarter Frenhinol y Brifysgol, mae'r cynulliad hwn yn cyfarfod i dderbyn y myfyrwyr, sydd yn rhinwedd i hastudiaethau a'i hysgolheictod, wedi'i harholi'n briodol yn unol â statudau'r Brifysgol ac wedi'i cael yn deilwng o'i graddau. Wrth ddathlu llwyddiant y rhai sy'n graddio yn y cynulliad hwn, fe hatgoffon o'i cyfrifoldeb i gyfrannu o werthoedd y brifysgol hon. Nod iddynt hwy yw ceisio drwy eu cyflawniadau wasanaethu lles pawb, ymdrechu i sicrhau rhagoriaeth ym mhob peth ac yn boeni am ddyfodol ein byd. Grandewch yn awchus ar ddoethineb, gan ei fod yn cynnig gobaith a gwirionedd ym mhob cenhedlaeth. Nerth gwlad yw gwybodaeth. A nation's strength is in its learning. Let it be known to all members of the university and throughout the world that today, in the capital city of Wales, a congregation of Cardiff University is taking place. Under the authority of the university's Royal Charter, this congregation meets to receive those students who, by virtue of their studies and scholarship, have been appropriately examined according to the statutes of the university and found worthy of their degrees. We celebrate the success of those who graduate in this congregation, and in doing so, remind them of their responsibility to share in the values of this university. It is for them to seek through their achievements, to serve the common good, to strive for excellence on all things, and care for the future of our world. Be attentive to wisdom, for it offers hope and truth in every generation.
Prynawn da. I'm Noah Russell, your Vice President Undergraduate Students at the Students' Union. Cardiff, it's a privilege to address you today, a day that you will remember fondly for the rest of your lives. At the beginning of this journey, many of you would have been faced with the exciting but daunting prospect of moving away from home, whether that be from Pontypridd, Portsmouth, or Peru. Making new friends and perhaps living independently for the first time, none of these are easy feats, so for that, I congratulate you. During your time at Cardiff, you may have overcome some challenges. You may have been the first in your family to go to university. You may have been a carer or have dependents and have to balance that with your university life. Or maybe you've battled something else entirely. You should all feel very proud of what you've achieved, both personally and academically. The experience you've shared together in a seminar room, a society, or a sports club, the opportunities you've embraced, and the relationships which you've built have made you into the graduate and person that you are today. As you reflect on your time here, let's acknowledge the hard work and dedication that brought you to this moment. It's not just about the degrees you hold, but the family you've made, the lessons you've learned, and the growth you've experienced. You may or may not know exactly what you're doing next, but as you step into the next chapter, carry with you the resilience you've developed and the memories you've cherished. Face the future with confidence, knowing that you're equipped to tackle whatever may come your way. May your care ever be for the good name of our university and the well-being of our world. Congratulations, class of 2024.
Pnawn da iawn I chi gyd. Good afternoon, all of you. My name is Damien Walford-Davies. Fenw I yw'r athro Damien Walford-Davies. I'm the Provost and Deputy Vice-Chancellor of Cardiff University. And I'm delighted that today my job is very simple. It is to warmly invite all students at the appropriate point in the ceremony to receive their awards. That's the part of the ceremony where the names are read out by a senior member of the university. And here's a piece of advice. Please do celebrate the achievement of our students as they cross the stage by clapping or cheering, okay? Keep up the energy for each student who crosses the stage. Whether you want to do a whoop whoop or whatever you want to do, you can do it. You're only going to get one chance to do it. Don't go overboard, but here's your chance. Once all the students for each award have crossed the stage and have returned to their seats, something rather special is going to happen. I'm going to invite them to stand, if they're able to. And at that point in the ceremony and at other equivalent times, it's a tradition of this university for me to speak in what's my first language, Welsh, to receive each group of graduates to their awards. So it's a wonderful moment. And the Welsh phrase I will use when translated means, through the authority conferred upon me by the university, I receive you to your award with all the privileges that this confers. Congratulations. And in Welsh, trwy'r awdurdod a roddwyd I mi gan y Brifysgol, derbyniaf chi i'ch dyfarniad ar holl freintiau a ddaw yn ei sgil. Llongyfarchiadau. I'd like now to introduce Professor Rachel Errington, Head of the School of Medicine, who will kick us off and present the students for their award.
I, Professor Rachel Errington, introduce those who have received the degree of Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery. Adhadab Abdel Wahab. Ishaq Abdikar Muhammad. Elmer Abraham. Sarana Abraham. Mui Aduge. Usa Ahmed. Finn Ajaye. Kabir Singh Ajit Singh. Mariam Alani. Lay Akula Saran. Manuel Alumun. Huno Ali. Krisa Al-Kbari. Jacob Allman. Zayena Alul. Katrin Aniva. Lalaz Aaron. India Armstrong. Shiprakash Haroon. Arabella Atkins. Jasmine Arton. Priya Rose Babu. Caitlin Bailey. Sahib Corbens. Emily Balls. Euphas Barclay. Ellie Barn. Kate Barton. Ravunt Bhattacharya. Stephen Bates. Laura Baxter. Samuel Benjamin Beckett. Eloise Bell. Lydia Benitez Jones. Cara Bennett. Richard Bennett. Sandra Benning. Isabel Bigham. Anna Merin Bijou. Aparna Pakinkata Bijou. Joseph Bingham Cooper. Max Bond. Chloe Bristow. Kate Louise Brown. Caitlin Burns. Rosa Burston. Lara Burton. Aban Butt. Elizabeth Frances Casey. Abby Megan Carter. Olivia Cawthorne. Shi Wei Shan. Tassian Chape. Stephen Chewy. Samuel Chumley. Neve Clark. Rhian and Harriet Cockwell. Lauren Cooper. Chantal Corbin. Eleanor Cotton. Amma Abadane. Nishat Dalarai. Upasana Das. Kieran Datta. Dion Andrew Davies. Isabel Davis. Ellen Davies. Megan Tellery Davis. Megan Davies. Miriam Greg Davies. Nia Half Davis. Erna Davis. Molly Isabel Davis. Chashlyn Demelta Pereira. Nikita Dowie. Ellen Alice Dreesdale. Leandra John. Sally Eagleton Etheridge. Maddie Elliott. Sarah L.T. Rafe. Susanna Atwa Enogoge. Alad Evans. Francesca Louise Evans. Harry Evans. Lowry Evans. Morgan Evans. Rhiannon Jane Evans. Ezrafa May. Yestin Sion Fen. Roanna Fishburne. Julie Fitsu C. Erin Flaherty. Jessie Flanagan. Leslie Ann Lydia Fox. Bethan Frost. Grace Hannah Fry. Anna Gaspar. Saren Gates. Gloria George. Shivana Giona. Rebecca Glasser. Megan Rose Good. Megan Elizabeth Goodwin. Bethia Gorringe. Harriet Lucy Gold. Will Greaves. Georgie Green. Sophie Griffiths. Fried Gwenellan. Caradog Hannah Davies. Krishan Harrier. William Andreas Harmon Cashmore. Isabel Eve Harris. Elsa Hart. Ahmed Hassan. Megan Grace Havard. Ellen Megan Hawkins. Larry Hawkins. Harriet Hebbs. Amy Hennessy. Tyler Hupburn. Olivia Charlotte Hurd. Charles Hodges. Thomas Hood. Katie Hook. Max Hugo. Penelope Islip. Sophie Emily Jane. Morgan Reese James. Neve James. Hannah G. Gagar. Hannah Jenkins. Alicia Sumutra Shamrai. Dylan John. Ewan Hicks John. Michael John. Jasmine Johnson. Marcus Christopher Emmanuel Johnson. Ellen Jones. Lowry Ellen Jones. Sarah Jones. Anhut Korla Karla. Sasha Kandanarachi. Zia Fatima Kanji. Yoha Kamun. Bisma Kazi. Holly Keeling. Zara Kamas. Shiraz Mohammed Khan. Georgian Kuyu Hop. Elliot Kimber. Elliot King. Alabukube Koba. Debbie Tian Xing Ku. Saoirse Kundu. Madeline India Jane Lacey. Mulakal Law. Alicia Lapere. Jacqueline Lee Chi Cheng. Isabel Rondilu. Sophie Lepping. Ahed Lester. David Thomas Llewellyn. Karen Hiu Xing Lo. Maya Lodia. Clodagh Mackay. Olivia Grace McKay. Manisha Mahadava. Evan Ma. Sahana Mahash. Mahmood Hada Mahmood. Jocelyn Sheung Hang Mak. Natalia Malikova. Ruth Marsden. Eva Ray Martin. Louis John Wyatt Martin. Shloka Hira. Jill Massey. James Matthews. Erica May. Elise Katie Mailer. Adriel Andrew McForrester. Sally McKenna. Oren John Joseph McNally. Kaylin McQuaid. Oliver Message. Helen Michaelis. Ellis Midder. Madeleine Mills. Nuala Joshagane. Anna Victoria Moore. Thomas Meredith Morgan. Madeleine Morris. Samir Mustafa. Kizzy Wembridge McStevens. Shigray Mukola Padia. Isabella Miandi. Grace Murphy. Isabel Murray. Andrew Naguib. Ashimitha Naukaduma. Brooke Nash. Casey Nash. Joseph Nash. Rosalia Nash. Mohammed Ahmed Nazir. Callum Neal. Roisin Negran Ailing. Rhiannon Louise Newton Adams. Caleb William Lydian Nicholas. Lucy Beth Norman. Kendra Jean Amadi. Eleanor Bard. Jessica O'Brien. Sion O'Brien. Sarah Bagood. Joe O'Connor. Katie Ella Driscoll. Natalie Olson. Olivia Pays. Dominique Peter Parisi. Jessica Parker Edwards. Thomas Lynn Parry. Sophia Pasha. James Pasek Mago. Ashay Raj Patel. Milan Patel. Charles Pearson. Jonathan Pearce. Moving Thanuka Bhavanith Barumanu Paramanu Gamardosh. Emily Perfect. Nicholas Phillips. Neela Pillai, Trevor Pinchmay, Anna Victoria Porter, Emily Powell, Keris Rachel Prosser, Saife Kayoun, Connell Quigley, Nabil Rahman, Umraj Singh Rai, Surathi Rakamucharan, Emily Jane Reid, Sophie Rees, Jonathan Reid, Emily Richards, Thomas Mark Richards, Jürgen Roberts, Anna Roach Watson, Stephanie Louise Rowlands, Roshna Roy, Seren Hazel Rudge, Sinead Elaine Ryan, Priya Shahapal, Kusifa Sahi, Arashaka Samaringa, Amelia Sadella, Sebastian Savage, Lydia Sade Scott, Raphael Seacombe, Nikhil Shah, Ali Galeb Sheikh, Jin Sung Shin, Harun Ahmed Siddiq, Joshua Sinclair, Joanna Sinos, Kira Circuit, Josie Sufak, Callum James Smith, Thomas Smith, Sugo Stanichitsky, George Solomon Stedman Gay, Alice Stenton, Laura Suleiman, Elizabeth Ann Sunderland, Kajanthani Sarathahan, Tuka Midhat Tahir, Nikita Tank, Callum Mark Tetro, Jack Thickett, Daniel Yale Thomas, Tom Thomas, Lucy Imogen Victoria Tong, Anjali Trivedi, Maggie Choudhary, Hannah Turbeville, Lariab Usman, Felicity Walker, Anastasia Wall, Devon Ward, Lauren Ellis Warrington, Genevieve Watergee, Josie Watts, Nicholas Pierce Noyce Wetherell, Abby Claire Whiting, Lara Lise Eugene Wiggins, Abby Louise Wilding, Abigail Wildman, Daisy Jane Dorothy Billings, Amy Alice Willits, Dayan Parry Williams, Harriet Williams, Mena Rose Williams, Sean Daniel Williams, Stephen Gwyn Williams, Jeremy Wong, Ruby Talua Wood, Roshan Woods, Sarah Anna Lily Woodson, Anujit Yadpav, Lava Yassin, Sandaya Yeo, Imogen Young, Abir Sahid, I, Professor Rachel Errington, introduce those who have received the degree of Bachelor of Science. Fuzan Basim Ahmed. Natalie Amanda. Chloe Louise Arnold. Nina Elizabeth Brett. Patrick William Robert Brown. Megan Katie Bryers. Elena Sophia Cartuccino. Rachel Casey. Tanya Vijay Chedar. Zelen Flossie Kulako. Toby Culling. Olivia Grace Curtis Hughes. Kate Robin Doyle. Eleanor Duckett. Dana Sama Awad. Bea Espura. Angelica Mispa Estatasio. Maria Flanagan. Francis Fu. Yashavini Gosavi. Kaylee Grimsley. Tom Hewer. Megan Hodgson. Oliver Jones. Teo Yu. Dylan Rose Lewin Colwell. Cara Love. Zoe Martin. Yasmin Halima Maymuth. Samuel James Morrison. Balrej Muda. Serena Nat. Charlotte Nicholson. Bronwyn Palmer. Suji Bak. Sophia Patadar. Dorota Prengoska. Mohammed Kuhil. Jasmine Reeve Foster. Leon Slade. Jenna Nicole Sugatha. Harino T. Jar. Laura Tompkins. Louisa Twig. Felix Warren. Nathan Peter White. Rafa Monef Zerbi. The Deputy Vice-Chancellor will now confer the award.
Iawn te. A wnaeth pob myfyriwr sydd newydd groesi'r llwyfan sefyll, os gwelwch yn dda. Would all the students who have just crossed the stage please stand if you're able to. Trwy'r awdurdod a roddwyd i mi gan y Brifysgol, derbyniaf chi i'ch dyfarniad a'r holl freintiau a ddaw yn ei sgil. Llongyfarchiadau. Congratulations. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Steddwch os gwelwch yn dda, please be seated.
I, Professor Stephen Riley, introduce those who have received the postgraduate certificate. Mawish Dildar Abbasi. Demetrios Akrivis. Adeniki Abaki Arobosoe. Jack Bradley. Daniel De Silva. Danny Hansford. Francesca Lambert. Claire Mulvena. Jack Shepherd. I, Professor Stephen Riley, introduce those who have received the postgraduate diploma. Iman Agil Altafiri. Ivan Aloysius. Nana Nyakoa Amoa. Tenral Anand. Faisal Geswinde Ayambila. Siti Norbazila Binti Mohammed Zain. Sam Chow. Serena Govindasamy. Amjad Iqbal. Gina Sebastian. Christopher Parkling Lynn. Mariam Malek. Sue Sane. Prunal Mittal. Verkash Patel. Alexandra Rusby. Divya Shekharan. Ashraf Guma Shibani. Elizabeth Marie Wharton. Dawn Whiteley. Shannon Juan Zhang. Shuja Rahman. Tariq Nassim. I, Professor Stephen Riley, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Public Health. Zoya Anis. Amara Bartlett. Xanthi Beres. Rachel Burton. Christy Craddock. Anissa Delimita. Eloise Hammond. Leona Marie Batten. Animesh Lal. Liu Xin Yu. Zainatful Fideus Mifta. Vaishak Suresh. Rebecca Amira Young. I, Professor Stephen Riley, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Science. Akila Mary Abraham. Bashar Al-Hani. Noor Amar. Isha Umbreen. Kashaf Ansari. Jenny Avery. Sally Al-Ali. Uman Bari. Latif Ayue Bayou. Josephine Banda. Tristan Robert Barker. Louise Marie Beckham. Carolyn Berry. Joanne Berry. Anna Bevan. Catherine Bibby. Hannah Blake. Roberto Bonelli. Carlo Angelo Borden. Diplaxmi Purushottam Borle. Kirsty Bowen. Joseph Boylan. Alice Cameron, Emma Carter, Billy Chung Ka Yuen, Chetna Chabra, Mary Ifaluya Chichi, Crystal Chow, Daniel Curtis, Linwen Sean Davis, Deborah Dunlop, Emma Eade, Emma Edwards, Asma Arum, Fotini Christina Falasaki, Kirsty Foster, Helen Fowler, Anna Gaspar, Giorgio Gentile, Mavis G.D. Glow, Beth Gilman, Kerry Greaves, Amit Grover, Olivia Hadfield, Farah Hannah Hassan, Indeg Jameson, Michelle Yohim, Sharon Jones, Tamara Jones, Pratima Kampa, Panisa Kurtbundit, Poompat Kitty Karait, Ed S. Kosa, Kai Ligama, Malvinda Kaur Mahinda Singh, Rebecca MacDonald, Twasim Pediath Mohammed, Zeti Zofia Mohammed Zanib, Jessica Moore, Shilpa Nadkarni, Fatuma Nakigud, Emi Ngokorana and No Kaneng, Putu Yudni Nusatha Diputra, Shane O'Hid, Kit O'Connor, Kirsty Emma Ogden, Sarah Oliver, Samiksha Painjin Kaur, Sachin Patel, Diego Pelletzola, Natalie Simone Petit, Rebecca Restorick, Sarah Louise Phillips, Carly Pridmore Bowen, Karen Jane Rahilly, Lara Rapper, Charlie Reynolds, Helena Alexandra Richards, Veena Mahmood, Kerry Elizabeth Rowe, Nicola Rusling, Anshuman Saxena, Benjamin Daniel James Scott, Joseph Scully, Liba Sheikh, Lucy Sheikh, Umayma Siddig, Bavin Solanki, Emily Sterling, Ailey Stewart, Giovanna Stosic, Kwei Esther Tung, Edward Thompson, June Thau, Louise Todd, Hannah Trotman, Francesca Wicks,
A wnaeth pob myfyriwr sydd newydd groes i'r llwyfan sefyll os gwelwch yn dda. Would all the students who have just crossed the stage please stand? Trwy'r awdurdod a roddwyd i mi gan y Brifysgol, derbyniaf chi i'ch dyfarniad a'r holl freintiau a ddaw yn ei sgil. Llongyfarchiadau, congratulations. Diolch yn fawr iawn.
The following students to be presented have achieved a doctoral degree, and in recognition of their achievements and research, they will be presented to the presiding officers who will doff in return. I, Professor Stephen Riley, introduce those who have received the degree of Doctor of Medicine. Jonathan Ayling Smith. Ellen Sian Evans. Sarah Hargreaves. Raji Ramaraj. I, Professor Stephen Riley, introduce those who have received the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Nabila Ali. Abdul Rahman Al-Musalam. Hanan Al-Matari. Mohammed Ahmad Marwan Al-Zarani. Thomas Robert Broughton. Robert Byrne. Ezra Seaton. Jessie Champion. Hannah Jane Clark. Angela Stamo. Ailey Fenner. David Foxwell. Eleni Glaru. Reneg Gwilliam. Laura Mary Herity. Kirsty Hett. James Rastel. Stuart Taliesin Owain Hughes. Najmus Zahar Iqbal. Gisela Jimenez Duran. Iona Kiriaki Kajiru. May Lee. Andreas Markoulidakis. Darius McPhail. Genevieve Meyer. Linda Moot. Amadeo Primerano. Thomas Rowe. Rubina Shah. Martin Sharat. Freya Storer. Alicia Tejera Crespo. Rebecca Beth Truscott. Lorna Ushaw. Marietta Ivanova Vasilieva. Anne Harrod Emily Walters. Katie Watts. Catherine Louise Widnall. Adam Dale Newman Williams. Christopher Wills. Grace Woolway.
Unwaith eto felly, a wnaeth pob myfyriwr sy'n newydd groesi'r llwyfan sefyll os gwelwch yn dda. Would all the students who have just crossed the stage please stand? Trwy'r awdurdod a roddwyd i mi gan y Brifysgol, derbyniaf chi i'ch dyfarniad a'r holl freintiau a ddaw yn ei sgil. Llongyfarchiadau, congratulations. Diolch yn fawr iawn.
Could all of those students that have studied in any aspect of healthcare please stand if you're able for the reading of the oath.
I will now declare the oath, first in Welsh and then in English, and then I will ask you to agree to the terms of the oath. A ddawaf mae flaenoroliaeth gyntaf fydd gofalu am fy nghleifion. Byddaf yn garedig gyda phob claf ac ymdrechaf i gyfathrebu yn effeithlon gyda nhw. Byddaf yn parchu urddas a'u preifatrwydd a'i hawl i gyfrannu'n llawn at benderfyniadau ynglŷn â'i gofal. Byddaf yn onest ac yn ddibynadwy bob amser ac yn parchu a diogelu gwybodaeth gyfrinachol. Ni fydd fy nghredoau personol yn amharu ar ofal fy nghleifion. Trwy gydnabod cyfyngiadau fy nghymwysedd, byddaf bob amser yn diweddaru fy ngwybodaeth am sgiliau proffesiynol. Os bydd gennyf reswm da i gredu nad wyf fi neu gydweithiwr yn addas i weithio, byddaf yn gweithredu'n gyflym i ddiogelu cleifion rhag perygl. Ni fyddaf yn camddefnyddio fy sefyllfa proffesiynol a byddaf yn gweithio gyda chydweithwyr yn y ffordd orau lles y cleifion. Yn yr holl faterion hyn, ni fyddaf byth yn gwahaniaethu'n anheg yn herbyn fy nghleifion na'm cydweithwyr a byddaf yn barod i gyfiawnhau fy ngweithredoedd iddynt ym mhob achos. Rhoddaf yr addewid yma ar fy llw yn wirfoddol ac o ddifrif. I promise that I will make the care of my patients my first concern. I will be considerate to all my patients and will strive to communicate effectively with them. I will respect my patients' dignity and autonomy and their right to be fully involved in decisions about their care. At all times, I will be honest and trustworthy, respecting and protecting confidential information. My personal beliefs will not prejudice my care of patients. Recognising the limits of my competence, I will keep my professional knowledge and skills up to date. If I believe that I or a colleague may not be fit to practice, I will act quickly to protect patients from risk. I will not abuse my professional position and will work with colleagues in the ways that best serve patients. I will never discriminate unfairly against patients or colleagues, and I will always be prepared to justify my actions to them. I make this promise solemnly, freely, and upon my honour. If you agree to the terms of the oath, say, I do. Diolch.
Prynhawn da dawb. Good afternoon, everyone. We come to the part of the ceremony that celebrates distinguished people for outstanding contributions within their field and to society, to Cardiff, Wales, and the world. And today's honorary fellow is Asma Al-Alak. Now, Asma, like you, will be recognized and rewarded. Her success is part of your day's success. Dimaguvli I nodi ein hidmagedd, ein bochder, ond diolch wrth gyflino Cymro doriaethau a graddau enragau. That recognition is given through the award of an honorary fellowship. Asma Al-Alak is, also as you have just become, a Cardiff alum. In fact, a double Cardiff alum. She's a consultant breast surgeon at the Snowdrop Breast Centre in Pontyclun, and you may recognize her as the winner of the Great British Sewing Bee 2023. Born in Iraq, Asma grew up during a time of war. Out of that hardship grew a determination to become a doctor and to make a difference in people's lives. It was also there that she discovered her love of sewing, learning at the hands of her grandmother. After leaving Iraq, aged 14, Asma and her family moved to the UK, where her father worked as a scientist. And aged 18, she came to Wales to study medicine. Here at Cardiff University, she also decided to make Cardiff her home with her husband and 2 children. And today, Asma's dream of helping people as a doctor has become a reality. And the hobby she took up to pass the time, well, that saw her crowned Britain's most sensational seamstress, walking the red carpet and mingling with stars. But it doesn't end there. Asma has united her professional and personal passions. Specializing in making underwear, Asma uses her sewing talents to make special post-operation bras for her breast cancer patients, helping them to recover from surgery and to navigate life beyond their mastectomies. What a fantastic change maker you are, Asma, an inspiration to our graduating class and fellow alumni. So I will now present this distinguished individual who is to be awarded an honorary fellowship of Cardiff University. Anrteddus is ganghelor, cyflwynaf I hi rhai, sydd i'w derben, in Gymrwder, Anrhydedd Prifysgol Caerdydd. Deputy Vice Chancellor, I present to you Asma Al-Alak, to be accepted as an honorary fellow of Cardiff University.
Trwy'r awdurdod a roddwyd I mi gan y Cyngor, derbyniaf chi fel cymrawd anrhydedd Prifysgol Caerdydd, llongyfarchiadau.
printed off my speech in font size 30. I still think I'm going to struggle to see it. Also, to start off with, ladies, love the shoes. Absolutely loved them. I mean, amazing. But I have my eye on one pair, and I think that person who has a red sole is in danger of not having any shoes to wear out going out. I had to forsake my pair of red-soled shoes just in case my dress caught and I fell smack down, on my face, and that wouldn't have been a very good look. So there we are. I've skipped also the first bit of my speech because I thought I would struggle to be a bit comical and funny, and I had quite a hard act to follow in Ellis James, and I don't know if any of you know Ellis James. Last year he was honoured as a fellow. He's a stand-up comedian, and he's a broadcaster. I was sent the video to have a look for some inspiration and ideas. Keep the speech to 2 to 3 minutes, keep it light, and have some humour in it. So hopefully I've picked up a few tips from Ellis, and yes, we'll see how it all goes. So I want to start off by saying what an honour and a privilege it is to be part of this ceremony, celebrating the next generation of young doctors yourselves. Thank you everyone at Cardiff University for bestowing this incredible honour on me of becoming an honorary fellow at the university. Believe it or not, I've been in Cardiff University far longer than you think. I was here when I was 6 years old. I used to go to the main building in Cardiff, walk down those very scary corridors, going to visit my parents who were doing their PhDs in physics, and in those days the physics department was in the main building. So yeah, my relationship goes as far as that. Had a bit of a stint in Iraq. It was only 8 years, not too bad. 2 wars, here and there. Some good times, some bad times. Eventually made my way back to the UK in 91, up in Durham, all the way in the northeast. Came back to Cardiff at 18 and came to university. It was the first time in 4 years that I actually blended in. It was very difficult to start off with having a headscarf on, and I'm sure some of you understand that difficulty that we sometimes encounter. But it was such a diverse community of students, different backgrounds from all around the world, and it was a lovely feeling. I made most of my time living as a student. Can't tell you too much because my mum's in the audience and my daughter. So yeah, we have to be careful there. One thing I'm very, very proud of, I never made it to the Philly. Is the Philly still a thing? Yeah. Yes. Phone parties, are they still happening? Never experienced those, so there we are. So come July 2000, graduation day, not in this venue, nowhere near. It was in Lecture Theatre 1 in UHW. And it was way too small, so the rest of the families, I'm afraid, you were delegated to Theatre 2, watching the proceedings over video camera. So yeah, it wasn't particularly great. So at least we've made some progression here at Cardiff University. And it makes a lovely difference to have my family here in the same room. Like you, I was ready to conquer the world as a budding haematologist. 24 years later, I'm a consultant breast surgeon. No idea, how did that happen? Well, first job as a house officer. I was a house officer in general surgery and orthopedics. Had a very enthusiastic trainee who used to take me around doing little procedures, nerve blocks and various little bits and pieces. And he asked me, so what do you want to do when you grow up? And I said, I want to be a haematologist. He was like, oh, don't do that. Do general surgery. I was like, okay, I'll do general surgery. So there were times when I thought, what was I thinking in that moment when I said, yes, I'm going to do surgery? I dreamed of getting a training number, a surgical number, and it seemed too impossible. There was a new system at hand. My name was a little bit of an obstacle. My lack of research, apparently, but don't tell anyone. I did a PhD at Swansea University. Sorry, Cardiff University. Stuck to my guns, though. Ploughed through and just got my training number eventually. Took a few years, but I got there. And then after becoming a consultant, started missing Cardiff. I was in Cheltenham for 5 years and I was commuting. And various things, I thought, I want to go back to university as well as back to Cardiff. So in 2020, I joined the law school. and I did my MD in legal aspects of medical practice. Can you see a theme here? It never stops, I'm afraid. So that theme of wanting to do more and more. COVID hit, graduation didn't happen. 2 years of it, you know what it was like. Hadn't had COVID, thought I was going to be, one of those special people who's got something special in their body that, I'm immune to COVID, I'm never going to get it, even with the immunisations. Well, May 22, guess what happened? Got hit with COVID, and it struck really badly. So I was sat on the sofa one day, feeling very sorry for myself, switched the TV on, guess what was on the TV? Great British Sewing Bee. I thought, I can do that. Why not? Let's just give it a go. As you heard earlier on, I was taught sewing by my grandmother and my mum. I dabbled a little bit in sewing during my higher surgical training, but only for special occasions. More recently, I've been doing more and more. Had a look, and I thought, well, let's just give it a go. Why don't we? Filled in the application form, pressed the button at 8 in the evening, which was the deadline for it. I am known to be lastminute.com, so, 2 days later, get the phone call. 3 months down the line, I'm in the studio, and cameras all around, and we are filming. Wasn't the smoothest of journeys, but that tends to be the trend in my life. But my surgical training came in handy. I came across as very calm, apparently, if only they knew. Just one of life's skills that I learned as a general surgeon. Appear calm, know what I'm doing, but sometimes, although most of the time, you don't really know what you're doing, but you're very good at blagging. Lots of occasions when I was really nervous, and now here I am quoting myself from the program, right? I was pooping my pants at times. Just very good at bluffing. So, after hearing all of that, I meant to be sticking to 2 to 3 minutes. I think I may have gone overboard. What I'm trying to say, in my own special way, is life is a bumpy road with lots of incredible highs and sometimes difficult lows. Learn from them, pick yourself up from the lows, and be inspired by those experiences and the people around you. Nothing is impossible if you set your mind to it. Sometimes we succeed and it feels amazing. Other times we may not be. And if that were the case, learn from those mistakes and those difficulties, learn from those experiences and move on. Follow your dreams. Nothing is impossible. But don't wait for someone else to make those dreams come true. The only person that can make them come true is you. Enjoy life and don't let it pass you by. There is so much more out there to experience and enjoy, and I wish you all the best of luck. Go out there and smash it. Thank you.
Thank you, Asma, and Llangefach Iadau, congratulations, welcome to the alumni. And Llangefach Iadau, congratulations to you all today. You are all now part of the Cardiff University alumni community, and we are great global citizens. Some of you will go on to be activists and have high profiles, as we have today. Others, I know, will be perhaps more quiet, but always well-informed contributors to their communities. You will find your own path, but I know you will make a difference. Cardiff will have given you more than just a degree. You've been encouraged to ask questions and to challenge conventional wisdom, as probably some of your lecturers and teachers know. You have shown willingness, determination and spirit, the real hallmarks of a Cardiff University graduate. The Welsh word hiraeth is made from moments like this. It conveys a sense of place, of love, of longing and of memories. We hope you will keep hiraeth in your hearts for Cardiff University. Before we close the ceremony, there's just one last tradition to uphold. While today has been all about your achievement, it's not something you've done on your own. You've been supported by your family and your friends, your lecturers throughout your degree, and they are here today. So it's now the time for me to ask all the new graduates to stand, please, and turn, face your friends, find your family, and be ready. Everyone in the arena has made a lot of noise for you. Now it is your turn to make even more noise on 3 to say thank you to them. So, 1, 2, 3. Thank you, family and friends, and lecturers. Well done, all the family and friends who stood in the rain waiting to come in. Thank you all. So to close our celebrations, we have a short film welcoming you to our alumni family. Enjoy. At the end of the film, there will be a band. Good fun. So when that happens, will you please stand? The platform party will leave. The ceremony will draw to a close. And then it's time for you to head out, find your family and friends, and enjoy the rest of this fantastic day. So thank you for joining us today, and congratulations once again, class of 2024. Diolch yn fawr iawn.
Take a look around you. Be welwch chi? What do you see? Class of 2024. Today we take stock of everything we've achieved and say thank you to those who always believed. So scroll through memories, cymryd selfies gyda'r besties, and stand up straight for the photographer. Say cheers. Today we remember how we got this far. The late nights and bright lights, and moments we didn't do as well as we might. Pob dyddiad cau, dyfal barhau, o weithio'n galed i'r dathliadau. Today we're rewarded for all the hard work that started way back with the first steps we took. Dropped at Talabont, Nghennydd, Aberdare or Aberconwy I ganol y freshers, heb wybod lle I fynd, heb nabod bob un, nes canfod ffrindiau oes yn neidiau hoff cytun. First dates.
Soulmates.
I'm gonna start crying at this rate. Today we're part of something that's hard to describe. The new class of an old tribe. A tradition that'll be there our whole lives. A network that continues to help us thrive. Years from now, we'll see someone with a badge on their tie or hear people on a bus shouting,
Cheers, drive.
And we'll remember where we came from, where we came into our own, where we made our mark. Canfod Cartref, where we found a home. Today we make noise like it's the varsity game and count ourselves lucky we found people with the same interests, hobbies, byd o hiwmor nes bod ni'n ffoli. People who tried to shelter us with broken brollies. People who helped us find our limits and push them out of the way. People who helped us get to this point.
On this day.
Today is a day we mark everything we've shared. A day we tell people just how much we cared, that they were always there, even when they couldn't be. Roedden ni'n gwybod y deiau eto hael lyfryn for all the long hours we've had to put in. We still had those nights that went right through till dawn, and days we dug deeper than ever before. So here's to those late night revisers and early risers, to sunny days that passed by in Butte Park, to that special someone who gave us that special spark and helped us to grow, to transform, to dream. Today's for that someone we're proud to have at our team. What happens tomorrow is whatever you choose. Go make news or break news, but absolutely refuse to be told that can't be done, because we've only just begun to make records and break records and make history and break history and say,
this is the world I want to see.
10,
20,
30,
40.
years from now, you'll look back on today and realise you've been by your side the whole way. But right now, right here, let's savour the moment and say, Llongyfarchiadau, congratulations. Let's get the celebrations underway. Take a moment. Look around you. Be welwch chi? What do you see? We're Cardiff University. Croeso, welcome to your alumni community.
you.